Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we're going to do an interesting little series regarding the Lead Team Collective. And this really started with a lovely letter that I received from a community member. And I'm going to be asking specifically what this community member was suggesting regarding the Lead Team Collective. Okay, it's just a different perspective. I am an open book about these things because I'm learning right along with you. And so we're going to find out who I'm really talking to. If Sue's questions, so Sue is the community member who sent me the letter, if her questions, I'm going to ask the way she suggested I ask, okay? And I'm going to say a protection prayer that she recommended and the law of challenge that she recommended. And then we're going to ask the questions. So that'll be interesting. I have not done this on my own, so I have no idea what they're going to say. And I thought, she said, do this privately or whatever. And I thought, well, this is a very public community. So I'm not going to do this privately and then find out that it's not who we thought they were, and then not, be truthful for you guys. Okay. So we're going to do that first. And then you guys, when I posted a while back, actually, this took me a little while to get to, but I posted a while back a poll regarding the lead team. Okay. And I said, we have a community members questioning, and maybe other community members too. And you guys had so many, there was like 400 comments in there. So what I did, and I pulled all of your questions from that, and I have 2 additional episodes. Okay. I don't know if we'll do them one after the other for the next 3 days. I'll probably put something in between, but the next episode about the lead team will be, let's see, we'll take this one step further. Okay, and explore why the Lead Team Collective exists, what a collective brings to these conversations, and whether working with the LTC is still the best approach for our community. Okay, so those will be some additional questions that you guys had. All right. Okay, so just to get started, so Sue asked me to use her protection prayer. I think it's kind of similar, but she just had a few adjustments, okay? And the law of challenge, and then ask some very specific questions. So that's where we're going to start today, okay? All right. So normally I would say, as you guys know, my prayer would be in the name of, now I forget, like what's my I'm looking at hers and I'm like, I don't even know how to start mine. I close my aura. I was like, I cannot think of what it is. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides, guardians, the Lead Team Collective, and only those of the highest and purest light. And ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, our community, the Lead Team Collective, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Okay, so that's what I normally say. And the lead team has told me I don't have to do the law of challenge as often as I was thinking I needed to do a month ago. So I haven't been doing it as often. But here is the protection prayer that Sue has recommended, okay? I ask Archangel Michael to protect me and surround me with only those of the highest and purest light, to ensure I speak only to my true spirit guides and guardian angel. I ask that Archangel Michael escort all low energies away from me and to the light. Thank you and amen. So the law of challenge is, in the name of Christ are all spirit guides present of the highest and purest light. Yes, in the name of Christ are all spirit guides present of the highest and purest light. So you're supposed to do the love challenge 3 times. And only once did I get a no, but it could happen today. In the name of Christ are all spirit guides present of the highest and purest light. So they did say yes to the second one. And I just usually hold the third one a little bit just to make sure they're not, look at how still they are on the left side. They don't, they're not usually that still, right? On the left side, usually they're kind of going both ways. So yes. Okay, so we're all good there. All right, so here are the questions. Now, I know in this particular episode, Sue had, let's see, how many questions? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me make sure that Mabel pulled these exactly. Okay. Yes. So she had 8 questions, but we have more than 8 questions here. So we're gonna do the first 8 are Sue's questions. And then the rest of them, we've got a few more that I wanted to, yep, these are all 8. Okay. So the first 8 are Sue's questions she wanted me to specifically ask to see who it is that we're actually talking to after I said that prayer. Okay. Then I have some additional questions just to kind of round out this episode that were asked from the community. And then we'll follow up with additional questions that kind of group together, okay, in other episodes. Okay, here we go. I'm a little nervous, but it is what it is. We'll make adjustments as we have to. That's always what we do, right? Because I've had people ask, like, we've answered these questions, people who were working with a pendulum and they were getting really honest answers, and all of a sudden it changed and they were getting, like, somebody was spelling out like Satan, and and we found out that that's just, it's like trickster energy. So stuff changes. Okay, so I'm not even sure who to ask. So I think I'm talking to, because I to ensure I speak only to my true spirit guides and guardian angel. Okay. So I'm going to assume at this point that I am speaking to my spirit guides and my guardian angel right now. Okay. So not necessarily the lead team. Okay. So my guides, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Is Sue's protection prayer and love challenge wording stronger than my normal protection prayer? No. Okay. So is it equally as effective as my normal protection prayer? Yes. Okay. So either version, they're a little clicky today. Either version is doing the same protection. I don't mind adding, I just kind of have that flow. I don't mind adding anything in here that Sue had. I ask Archangel Michael to protect me and surround me with only those of the highest and purest light. I kind of like that. To ensure I speak only to my true spirit guides and guardian angel. I ask that Archangel Michael escort all lower energies away from me and to the light. I have no problem with that. In fact, I really like that. Okay, I might add that in mine. It will just take me a little practice. Okay, so am I currently speaking to my true spirit, personal spirit guides, and guardian angel during my rod sessions? Yes. Okay. Am I able to call in a viewer's guides if the viewer is not physically present? Yes. Okay, well, that's good to know. All right. When I record alone at home, well, like I'm doing right now, because you guys are not live with me, are my community members' highest and purest spirit guides present with me? Yes. Okay. Are low energies able to enter my recording space? That's great questions. No. Okay. Have they entered my recording space in the past when I've been recording using my current prayer? I'm adding that question. That wasn't Sue's. No. Okay. When low energies are present during recording, can they influence my rod or pendulum answers? Yes. So that's a general question though. So when low energies are present, they could influence my rod and pendulum, but they've already answered that they're not present when I am recording. And is that correct? Yes. Okay. So again, I like that, adding that part of that prayer. I have no problem with that. Just to ensure that we're requesting Archangel Michael, poop, poop, send them away. It's that trickster energy. It's the prankster. I actually like using the word prankster better because it's like the April Fool's energy, and I'm kind of a prankster myself. So that's why I don't, because it doesn't, when I think of trickster energy, it kind of lowers my vibration. But if I think of prankster energy, it's just like they're just having fun. So, anyway, so yeah, so you just want to make sure that they're not playing pranks on us. Okay, let's see. Are my personal spirit guides different from what I call the lead team collective? Yes. Okay. Does what I call the lead team collective include low energies? Great question. No. Okay. Okay, that is a great question, and I see what Sue's getting at. Yep, my spirit guides are like, yeah, that's a great question. Because I see what she's getting at. That if we're pulling in theory, what my spirit guides have told me is I asked them if there was a name. I don't remember exactly how I asked them or why I thought there was a collective. I have no idea. It was prompted by something, and I don't remember what it was. But when I asked them on the pendulum, so using a pendulum like this, okay, when I asked them on the pendulum, they spelled out lead team collective. In fact, I did a video that said there's a name for our spirit teams together, okay? And since then, we've been exploring like, well, who does the lead team collective, who is it made up of, right? So they have told me, which many of you have heard this already, but for anyone who's new, they have told me that it is made up of spirit teams from this community. So some spirit teams automatically join, probably because the ones, maybe if you've been a subscriber here for a long time, or they just, you've given them permission in a life plan to be a part of this collective. I don't know, okay? But they have been given permission without you as your human avatar having to give them permission. Now there are some of your spirit teams that you have to give permission, okay? So we don't know which of you have to give permission or don't give permission. You can actually say, I don't give you permission to be a part of the lead team collective answers. That's okay. That's free will, and we want you to do that if that's not comfortable for you. So in case your team is joining in, So, but the question Sue just asked here about that is a really good question, because if we pull in spirit teams from other community members, well, I know the answer right now off the top of my head. If we pull in spirit teams from other community members, are they made up of lower energies? And the answer is no. They wouldn't be made up of lower energies because our spirit teams are not lower energies. But are you bringing lower energies to the conversation? Maybe, but it's not you answering. It's not your energies answering. It's your spirit teams are a part of the collective. And it's really interesting to me because they gave me this, I don't know, how long have we been calling them the lead team collective? Like over a year, right? I'd have to go back to my journal and see when that was. In fact, I did a video. I'd have to go back and see what the date on that video was, because it literally was like the same day. So since then, I've been exposed to a lot of other channelers who are channeling collectives, which I don't think I was prior to that. And it's really interesting to me how many there are. It's a thing, the collectives. So again, that's the name that they gave me, was Lead Team Collective. So, it's not that fancy, to be honest. I would have picked something way more fancier than that, but okay, so that's where we're at. So Sue, hopefully that's helpful, and that was really helpful for me. I'm glad to hear that what we've recorded so far has been legit. If it wasn't, I would have sent this out. I just would have, because in today's day and age of so much non-truth, it is my first and foremost to be as truthful as possible. And if we had to pivot, if I had to be like, well, you guys, we need to go back and answer a lot of questions because there was too much low energy around it. I apologize. I didn't know, because we're all learning here. So anyways, I would have sent that out either way. I just think that and if you're doing it, if you're becoming a creator of anything, whether it's in your local communities or I just think the truth, the ultimate honest truth, is going to be so vital going forward because of AI and because of how much people are questioning everything, which is what we all need to be doing, is questioning everything. So, which is why I respect Sue a ton for questioning. We're supposed to be questioning everything. So this probably brings up a lot of questions for you, and we're going to answer them. Okay, so put them in the comments and we'll pull them and answer them at some point. Okay. All right. So let's see. We've got a couple extra questions here now. So I think I got, 8 more questions. All right. So again, we're only talking to my spirit team right now. So I can see if we need to tap into the lead team. They'll answer if they need to. Is the lead team collective truly a collective of spirit guides connected to active members of this community? Excuse me, yes, as I belch. Hopefully you didn't hear that. Yes. So the answer is yes. Is the lead team collective a literal collective rather than simply a symbol? Yes. That's really cool, isn't it? Are our individual spirit guides actually working together as part of the lead team collective? Yes. And this all makes sense to me, and you know why? This just came to me. We're all working together. So this is why this is kind of a no-brainer, actually. This is so helpful. We're working together. Each of our fragmented part of our higher selves are living in our bodies, right? So we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are all working together to raise our vibrations, to ascend, right, to the 5D. That's what we're doing. We're working together to do that. If we're working together, guess who has to work together? Yep. Doesn't that make sense? Our higher selves are working together. Our spirit teams, of course they are. We just by working together are giving them permission to work together. That's just too logical now that I'm thinking about it. So there are going to be people who unsubscribe from the channel. And when they do, their spirit teams probably, so let me find out. So again, my guides, is that an accurate interpretation of how our teams are working together? Yes. And aren't we together in this community? No matter which community you're a part of, like you might go off at some point because this one is not quite where you're at anymore, and that's why people, I do that, come and go out of different communities. it would make sense that we together are a collective. That's why we call it a community. We're a collective and we're powerful together. Collectives are more powerful together, right? So of course they're going to be working together. Okay, Sue, this has helped me so much. I'm so grateful for you opening up this conversation. Okay, let's see. As our individual spirit guides actually working together. Okay. Is the lead team collective intended to serve this community rather than only my personal spiritual journey? Mine, meaning me. Yes. Okay. Again, it's just us as community, just as they're together. So we are together as a community, they're together as a community, but we are all together as a community, all of us. Our spirit guides are there. Their job is to help us do the things we want to do on earth. So that, they can't not be a part of it. If you want to be a part of this collective, they can't not be a part of it, right? So would you say that is accurate, lead team, or my spirit guides? I'm not used to talking to my spirit guides anymore here on the channel. Yes. Okay. When I first started the channel, until the lead team gave me their name, I was only referring to my guides, Okay. Does each person's spirit team choose whether or not to participate in the lead team collective? Yes. Are community member spirit guides able to participate when a session is pre-recorded? Yes. So, they're kind of magical. They kind of know they probably put the videos in front of you, to be honest, and hope that you watch them. So do they know who of their, the higher selves know who's going to be watching, basically, and participating? Yes. Does the timing of when video is recorded affect how the lead team collective works? Good questions. No, it does not affect it. Great questions. Okay, that is it for this episode. So again, the next time I'm going to do 2 more that answer a lot more questions for you guys. These were your questions. So we're going to explore in the next one why the lead team collective exists and how it works. You guys had more questions about that, and we'll just dive into it a little bit deeper. Okay. And then the final 3rd episode, we'll look at how much our own spirit guides actually guide us. You guys had, again, a bunch of questions regarding your own spirit guides, and I call them spirit teams because they're not just made up of spirit guides. What the lead team has told us, and my guides have told me, and it's consistent with Diana Cooper as well, if you guys ever read Diana Cooper's books, is that we have 2 spirit guides, a guardian angel, a unicorn, a personal unicorn, and a personal dragon. Okay, so that's our team. The dragon, guardian angel, and unicorn stay with us the entire time we're on Earth until we transition. Okay, from birth, I think they, and all of that. In our initial spirit guides, they all help us plan out our life plans. I only know this. I only know this because of all the sessions we've done thus far. Okay. So you might hear that other people talk about spirit guides differently. You just need to, don't be so concerned about getting the right answer. Go with what feels best to you. You know what doesn't feel best to me personally is the unicorn and the dragon. I just don't resonate with that. I do communicate it because that's what they've told us, but I personally don't resonate with the unicorn and dragon. That's why I always make a smirk when I always smirk when I bring up the unicorn and dragon. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist though, but it also doesn't mean that I have to tap into it. Okay. So, or have to believe it or whatever. And that goes the same for you. So, my my hope for all of us is that we don't just look for the right answer, because I'm telling you, you're not going to find it. The right answer is what resonates with you. The right answer is what resonates with me. If I believe my spirit team is made up of two spirit guides and a guardian angel, but not the dragon and the unicorn, and you believe the dragon and the unicorn, that's okay. That's what we should be doing. It doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. Somebody else might think there's fairies in their spirit team or whatever, or some of the divine feminine, that you've called into your spirit teams. So I'm always going to encourage our community to not always just look for what the actual answer is, because that trips so many people up from their growth, I think, because you feel like you can never get a straight answer. But that's not the point. The straight answer is not the point. It's what resonates with you. This is why, and then people, like, you don't want to turn away from communities because you're like, they're wrong, because you're missing out on some things that might actually be helpful for you. So if we can get away from right or wrong, left and right, the more I think that we'll have, that'll keep our vibration higher. The more we can get, the more we just understand that everything is possible. Everything is possible. Okay, you guys, this was great. I am so happy we did this. Sue wrote me this letter on May 31st, so it's taken me a while to get to it. So I will, and Morgan, I haven't forgotten about you. I don't even know, Morgan, if you're still watching, but I haven't forgot about you, and I know it's coming up. It's that email got buried in my emails. So, okay, so I will see you guys in the next episode. All right, take care. Bye-bye.